Now, one of the things that I wanted to also kind of touch upon briefly here is IS oil, right? Like the why. Why do we want to care about that? That's a really good question. How could this impact a company that's running a vulnerable IS oil implementation? Could the whole Eastern Seaboard pipeline go offline? I don't really know. JP, what do you think?
That's a great point, because it's not just about the vulnerabilities, right? We need to always think about the risk that is potentially affecting these applications, but then in the context of what are these applications doing for us and for the companies. In this case, this vulnerability is affecting an IS oil module or component that is, yes, it's present in most ERP implementations. However, it's only enabled in the ones that actually run oil and gas operations. So we could say that the affected companies are those that are supporting, or the potentially affected SAP applications are those that are supporting oil and gas operations. So depending on how those systems are integrated with the SAP applications, yes, this could be providing significant disruption if it's exploited because of the level of criticality that the vulnerability entails.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, that definitely comes to mind. We've seen situations like that in the past where the pipelines would go offline due to ransomware or something like that. But this is definitely a cause for concern. Could we have something like that happen at a large scale, affecting a large region? So with that said, thanks for diving that into that with me. Did you want to dig into the hot news note?
Absolutely, Paul. Yeah, last month, for those of you who have attended the Defenders Digest, we touched base on the July Patch Tuesday notes, and one of those was the vulnerability affecting the IS oil component. Well, there's an update to that because the common injection vulnerability, that's CVSS of 9.1, addressed by security node 3350297, it was provided with more documentation and more clarifications around what systems are vulnerable and what systems are not, and when customers should apply that patch, because the vulnerability is only present if there are two switches that are activated, OIB QCI or OI0 common 2. Those are two specific switches of the oil and gas component or IS oil component. So if you have the IS oil component, but you have not enabled that specifically for your operations, then the system isn't vulnerable. So there's no need to actually implement the node. And it's good to know because enabling some of those switches in many cases are not reversible. So in the process of addressing a security node, you could be creating some disruption to the system.